Dozens of locations across Kansas City and many more across the country are participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. They'll be open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is video from the collection last year at Main and Linwood and KCMO. Vapes and cartridges will also be accepted this year. And one local police department is offering even more. 41 Action News reporter Nick Starling is live in Lenexa, where things get started within the hour at 8 this morning. Nick, what's new this year?
Good morning, Tom. Well, new this year here, at least in the Lenexa Police Department, is that they are accepting syringes and sharp objects as well. And joining us now is Officer Danny Chavez. Thank you for joining us again this morning. Talk to us a little bit about this decision.
Yeah, so, oftentimes we get requests from people like, hey, where can I dispose of my medical sharps? Those would be needles, syringes, lancets. And ordinarily at these DEA drug takebacks that happen every year, we don't take those. This year we decided that we would go ahead and provide that service for people. So in addition to pills and patches, we are accepting those medical sharps to be safely disposed of. So just a good way to clean out the clutter in your restroom or your medicine cabinet and not have to worry about throwing those in the trash and someone getting stuck with them.
And National Drug Take-Back Day has been around for the past 10 years now, and this is the first time that they're accepting vape products as well. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, the DEA recently announced that vaping cartridges and the vaping devices themselves can also be disposed of here at these drug takebacks all across the metro, across the country. The only thing we do ask is if those devices have lithium batteries, that those not be disposed of here. Instead, check the manufacturer to see how those should be disposed of. But otherwise, yeah, vaping cartridges, vaping devices, you can dispose those just like you would your prescription medications.
And, throughout the years, are you ever surprised by the amount of prescription drugs you guys are able to get?
It is. Most people, when you look at your own medicine cabinets, you realize how many unused or expired or old medications they build up pretty quickly. And we don't want those to get into the wrong hands, whether it's, grandkids, burglars. Often we will see target homes just looking for those prescription medications. So bring them here. Again, whether it's Lenexa Police Department or many other places across the metro today, swing by, no questions asked, just dispose of them and get them out of your house.
Absolutely. All right, Officer Chavez, thank you for joining us today. And throughout other police departments, it's from 10 until 2, but here in Lenexa, it's from 8 until 2 o'clock today. Well, a full list at takebackday.dea.gov as well. Reporting live in Lenexa, Nick Starling, 41 Action News.
Another important event to talk about today, happening today, a chance to protect yourself before we get into the heart of flu season. The Overland Park Regional Medical Center is hosting its annual free flu clinic. Free, folks. It's from 8 until noon in the main lobby. The ER of Shawnee and ER of Olathe will have shorter clinic hours until 10 this morning. The latest map, though, from the CDC shows only a minimal amount of activity in Kansas. It's low in Missouri for now. Louisiana and Puerto Rico already have high levels of the flu. A reminder, if you take I-35 in Johnson County, you may run into lane closures for about another week. Crews will close down various lanes and ramps along northbound I-35 between 135th Street and 95th Street. You can expect the closures every day between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Crews are working on adding strips to the pavement. The work will last through Friday, November 1st. Halloween is one thing that happens during fall. Another is leaves falling off the trees. Toby Tobin says there are 2 ways to use them to your benefit. That's coming up in about 15 minutes. Also up next, an effort to stop breast cancer. A look ahead to Making Strides walk at Crown Center this morning.
You're watching 41 Action News.
11 minutes past the hour on this Saturday morning. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You can join the push to find a cure with a walk this morning at Crown Center. It's the 11th annual Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk of Kansas City. Registration starts at 7:30. The walk starts at 9, rain or shine. The route goes southeast on Pershing, north on Gillum and Oak, and then back south on Grand. Last year's event raised more than $250,000. How about that? That is awesome to hear, and I'm sure a lot of people will be taking part in that this morning. As we were saying, registration takes place very soon. Walk starts at 9. sort of chilly out there.
Chilly, yes. Bring all the layers, all the pink layers that you can think of early today, as our temperatures are starting off in the lower and middle 30s. After the sun comes up, our temperatures start to rise beautifully. It's actually going to be in the middle 40s by 10 a.m. and then by the lunch hour, we're up to 51. We will notice a blend of sun and clouds at times. I do anticipate more sun than cloud cover. The rain chances are also staying off to our east. So areas in mid-Missouri may experience some cooler temperatures today because of the cloud and some rain nearby. So Sedalia is at 51 today, but elsewhere we're experiencing highs in the upper 50s this afternoon. Pretty nice for an October day. Tomorrow, much of the same expected, and then we're talking a bitter blast of cold air. We'll detail that out for you on our 7-day coming up.
About 36 hours from now, it will be kickoff. Packers against the Chiefs. But Friday, head coach Andy Reid said Patrick Mahomes will not play after his knee injury in the previous game. Here's sports anchor Ryan Marshall.
Good morning, everybody. The Chiefs handed quarterback Matt Moore the keys to the Jag, but in order to get some horsepower in that thing and some positive traction, the defense will have to perform like they did in Denver.
Just got to execute. That's all it is. We just execute, and there was no difference in our play calling in Denver games than there was in any other games. It was just the way we played. We were all bought in and played fast. So there's no secret to success here. So we just got to play fast.
There was some hockey action from last night. The Kansas City Mavericks beat Toledo at home 6-4. Good for them. Michael Parks had 2 goals in that victory. If you guys haven't gone to a Kansas City Mavericks game out there, Silverstein Ice Center Arenas out there in Independence, you need to go. It is a great time. That is your look at sports. Have a beautiful day.
An exciting World Series happening, too. The World Series will go at least 2 more games as the Houston Astros put a stop to the Washington Nationals' winning streak last night in D.C. Let's check it out. The only run for the Nationals came in the 4th inning. Victor Robles hit a line drive to left field. You see it right here. Ryan Zimmerman was on first base, and he scored on the triple. That cut the lead to 2-1. The Astros, though, got the run back on a base hit to right field in the 5th inning. Michael Brantley is the one to watch on this one. He drove in Jose Altuve. The Astros added another run in the 6th and won 4-1. Game 4 is tonight in Washington, and Game 5 is tomorrow night. A lot of excitement in D.C. for all that right now. The ceremonial first pitch took us back 50 years. How cool is this? Buzz Aldrin walked on the moon in the Apollo 11 mission back in 1969, now a legend. And for our younger viewers, he actually also inspired Buzz Lightyear in the Toy Story films. I didn't know that part of it, but obviously the Apollo 11, hey, nice toss. Why not? Good for him. How cool is that to see?
That's amazing.
They had a really good commercial, too, with him watching a game with the little kids saying, you know, going to the moon was the big dream, and it kind of hints at the little kid maybe traveling to Mars one day or something. So,
Right.
yeah.
Because
I liked it a lot. It was kind of a cool
That's really
commercial.
cool. It's like actually give me chills
Yeah.
to think about just the exploration that we have out there.
Very, very cool.
Neat stuff. Now, we can see the moon from our vantage point this morning. The new moon will happen tomorrow. So look at that little sliver that we see out there early today, an indication that clear skies are in place. Thank you to Tim Hellick for capturing that shot. Clear conditions on our KB Complete Skyview network this morning. Looking live at the Truman Sports Complex and I-70. We're currently sitting at 33 degrees at KCI. It is chilly to start us off, and wind chills are down in the 20s out in Platte County with the northeast wind at 5 miles per hour. Downtown Kansas City's at 37, Liberty you're at 36, 35 Gladstone, 34 Baser into DeSoto, Lee Summit also sitting at 34. Meanwhile, we have some 40s out there just to our southeast where a little more clouds have been lingering overhead, but where we're noticing the clear skies, that's a perfect recipe for some colder numbers. 33 Chillicothe, 31 in Lawrence, but compare that to Pleasanton where we're at 43 degrees. So here's what the cloud cover is right now from Marshall, Sedalia, Clinton, and into Butler. And we have a batch of rain that's getting a little closer to parts of our viewing area. So can't rule out some of these showers that linger from Marshall, Warrensburg, and Butler, maybe into Pleasanton as well. But that will be the western extent of the rain today, and it should stay fairly light. The area of very heavy rain staying off to our east, across south central Illinois, eventually into the Great Lakes states and the Ohio River Valley. So we really miss out on the heavy rainfall today. Not necessarily the case when we go into next week when our pattern turns pretty active. So get out and enjoy this afternoon while we have some 50s and sunshine. We'll notice those temperatures for the lunch hour up to 53 degrees. The winds will stay light today, under 5 miles per hour. We're at 58 for your high this afternoon. Areas in eastern Kansas may even get closer to 60 degrees today. And then if you have dinner plans or evening plans tonight, numbers are still pretty nice, not as chilly as they were yesterday evening at 52. So we're at 58 for your high downtown, 51 though in Sedalia, where anticipate more cloud cover and that rain chance. Chillicothe's at 54. 58, Lawrence, Pleasanton, and Garnett, Kansas. Now, much of the same is expected tomorrow. When you're out tailgating at Arrowhead Stadium, our temperatures are in the middle and upper 50s, 57 degrees thinking at Arrowhead. Now, kickoff at 7:20, we're down to 49, and you'll notice through the course of the game that our wind speeds start to pick up and clouds will begin to build in. That's as a cold front approaches the area. So something to keep in mind, especially if you're sitting in the upper deck, you may want a couple extra layers out there because the breezes will kind of cut through you with wind chills in the 30s out at Arrowhead Stadium Sunday evening. All right, here's where that front is Sunday morning. It'll be just across Kansas City, and it's a slow dive to the southeast. But once it moves through our area, cold air begins to funnel in, and we will notice some gusty winds as well. So by Monday evening into Tuesday morning, this is when the moisture arrives, and we have that rain-snow line awfully close to the area, northwest Missouri, northeast Kansas. Now this rain snow line, keep in mind, can shift to the south and make it closer to Kansas City. So computer models are still waving, kind of giving us different solutions out there where the rain snow line is located. So we certainly could get some rain, potentially snow mixed in there through Tuesday morning. The rest of Tuesday is looking dry for now until another storm system begins to develop and brings us a good, decent chance for some snow even Wednesday into Thursday. We are for certain that it is going to be bitter cold out there with our overnight lows winter-like in the 20s. Look at Halloween. We're at 28, only up to 38 in the afternoon. Yeah, I've added some snow out there. This storm system looks to be the strongest and the better chance to bring the area, maybe that rain and snow mix into Thursday morning. But anyway, you got to get out. Enjoy this day before that blast of cold air moves in. Looking live right now at the Truman Sports Complex.
I know some people are probably making changes to their Halloween costume. You know, that's cold.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Good idea to think about that. Add all sorts of layers that you can.
The onesie, right, with the dinosaur or something warm. Right?
That sounds good for even adults too.
Yeah, why not,
Jump
right?
in that.
Gosh, possible snow though.
Yeah,
yikes,
I know.
goodness. Still to come though this morning, cleaning things up in Belton. The big difference a second code enforcement officer is making.
Hi, I'm Toby Tobin. Leaves are starting to look absolutely gorgeous, but that means not too long, leaves will be falling. Many of us will be getting out this rake and filling up 20, 30, 40 leaf bags. I've got a better idea. Coming up, we're going to show you what it is. Hi, I'm Toby Tobin. Leaves are coming down now. Many of us are going to reach for this backbreaker. You don't have to. I've got a better way, and it's much healthier for your lawn. As the leaves come floating down, they form a blanket on our lawns that covers the turf from the sun. The good news is that the nutrients in those leaves are highly beneficial for the soil and the lawn, but you just can't leave them laying around. So most of us reach for the rake. Recent university studies show that you can't return all the leaves to the ground at one time in the form of mulch. So we need to get those piles of leaves finely chopped up. There are new mulching blades that you can add to your mower that work even harder at turning those leaves into a small pile. The other option is to use a leaf vacuum, which will shred the leaves and bag them for you. Either way, just raking them and filling tons and tons of bags is not necessary and just will make your back tired. This is a very important time, whether you are using a mulching blade or just bagging the leaves with your mower, to make sure that your blade is very sharp. Leaves and twigs will leave a mower blade dull in a hurry, and that will just shred your grass and leaves. Also, and I know this can be difficult at times, don't mow those leaves when they are wet. You'll just wind up with a pile of goo, and it puts too much stress on your mower or a leaf vac. Once you've chopped up the leaves, you can use them just like fertilizer on your lawn, garden, beds, and landscape. As much of a pain as it can be, it's much better to mow lightly twice a week and mulch up the leaves than trying to wait until you have piles and piles building up. Remember, the nutrients in those leaves are like newfound gold, so don't just let all of it sit on the curb. Use them them wisely. Be sure you cut them up in little tiny pieces, and you'll leave your lawn looking gorgeous. Leaf raking does not have to be backbreaking. Check out some of the new technology. It is awesome. That's it. I'm Toby Tobin. We'll see you next week.
You're watching 41 Action News.
Good morning and welcome back. Thank you very much for joining us on this Saturday morning. I'm Tom Dempsey, joined by Lindsay Anderson. For anyone with outdoor plans today, kind of a nice day ahead that we have.
Absolutely. Nice day. Soak it in, because next week is going to be a whole different change. Yeah. Really cold out there. It's chilly this morning, but luckily we are going to see a nice warm up by the afternoon. 31 St. Joe, Ottawa's at 34, 31 Lawrence, Kansas City 33. And this yellow number indicates the wind chill out there. So it does feel like 29 in Platte County without a jacket. So definitely keep that in mind early today if you have plans to get outside. Otherwise, we'll notice clear conditions translating to some sunshine later on. The cloud cover is off to our southeast, where some rain showers are located as well. And they may make it into areas like Warrensburg, Clinton, and Sedalia, but the better chance for rain today will stay across central and eastern Missouri. So I don't think we need to worry about any of those outdoor plans here in Kansas City today. We'll just notice a blend of sun and clouds at times, more blue sky by the late afternoon and evening, and that's going to allow our highs to get into the upper 50s today. Much of the same expected on Sunday, but then the big change moves in. We'll talk about that in just a bit.
Happening today, it is National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. It's a chance to get rid of prescriptions you don't need anymore and keep them out of the wrong hands. Many of the events start at 10 this morning, and one local police department is stepping things up this year. 41 Action News reporter Nick Starling is live in Lenexa, where things start in about half an hour. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning, Tom. Yeah, they start at 8 o'clock this morning, and they're taking vape cartridges as well as things as syringes. But also, parents, listen up. If you have a car seat and don't know if it's installed correctly, Lenexa Police are here to help. And joining us now is Officer Danny Chavez. Thank you again for joining us this morning. Talk to us a little bit about this program you have going on this morning.
Yeah, so this morning, in addition to the drug take-back event, we're doing a child car seat safety inspection. So we want to make sure those little ones are strapped in safely, their car seats are installed properly. So we've got numerous of our personnel who've been trained and certified in this type of thing. So we'll make sure that the car seat, one, is not the subject of any manufacturer recalls. We'll make sure that it's been installed properly, and then make sure that it's the right car seat for your child's age and size. The last thing we want to see happen is get involved, even in a minor crash, and the car seat's not properly installed, the child isn't properly fastened, and then sustain some kind of injury. So swing by, only takes a few minutes. You don't need any appointment. You don't need to live in Lenexa. Just come to our police station here on 87th Street, and we'll have somebody take a look at that car seat, make sure it's properly installed.
That's probably a lot of things parents don't even realize that they have a car seat that may be installed incorrectly. I know previously we were showing video of a car seat that is properly installed inside of a vehicle. How many times do you see maybe at accidents or things that, maybe a car seat is not installed correctly?
Yeah, it happens more often than you'd like to think, and especially new parents, they've got a lot on their mind, very understandably, but we don't want them to neglect, installing that car seat. It can be intimidating, but really after doing it a couple of times, you should have it down pat. So this would be a great thing for new parents to come on by and bring the car seat, of course, and give it a shot, install it. We'll double check it, make sure it's done properly.
And I know that you do this kind of on a regular basis, but today you don't need an appointment to come in, right?
Yeah, we do offer this year-round. You can normally call and make an appointment, and one of our folks will look at the car seat. Today, no appointment necessary between 8 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Again, just pull right up. We'll have people outside. You don't even need to come in, and they'll take a look at that car seat.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, officer, for joining us again. All right. So that event, as well as drug take-back, starts at 8 o'clock here at Lenexa Police Headquarters. Reporting live in Lenexa, Nick Starling, 41 Action News.
Coming up on 25 minutes to the hour on this Saturday morning, with a backlog of property complaints in Belton, the city has hired a second code enforcement officer as more flood in. They are now averaging 125 investigations a week, looking into tall grass, debris, and rundown vacant homes. City leaders say since April, they cited nearly 960 properties. That's more than 1,400 code violations.
If people call, we go out, we let them know, we give them so much time to clean it up. If not, we go back, violate them, and let them know that the city will be back to abate it.
I think it's a good thing because there's a lot of upkeep to do, and just keeping a second person on staff would be a good idea.
The city had 2 code enforcement officers a little more than a decade ago, but cut the position during the recession. Brides in the metro want their money back after a hair and makeup artist didn't show up on the big day. At this point, more than a dozen people say they were impacted. Annie DeVol had a lot of excuses for the missed weddings. She says she will refund the brides, but there's no telling when. In the meantime, other hair and makeup artists are stepping up to help out. As consumer investigative reporter Kat Reed learned, they're giving brides a do-over.
When her hair and makeup artist didn't show up on the day of her wedding, bride Miranda Reeves was frustrated.
And for her to just not show up or to not even call or text and explain why she didn't show up was really disappointing. Really, all the empathy I had for her just kind of went out the window at that point.
She had booked Annie DeVol artistry and paid her $500 to do the job. After seeing bad reviews leading up to the big day, Reeves realized she needed a backup plan, but she couldn't afford it.
I didn't have the money to give. I paid her in full.
Enter Melissa Blayton, a hair and makeup artist who rallied a team to help.
I think I owe a lot of free facials, like whatever I can do just to show appreciation, because I couldn't be able to offer a solution if it weren't for these people coming together.
People like hairstylist Melissa Ingstrom.
I couldn't imagine being in their spots and being so frustrated, so I wanted to help as much as possible.
And they did, covering at least a dozen weddings, doing the work at discounted prices or for a tip only. But there were some brides they didn't know about.
I think when you're 5 years old, you start planning your wedding, and hair and makeup is a big part of that, like what your look is going to be. And the fact that that was missed, I just thought, you know what, we can do this.
It's called the Do-Over Project. Hair and makeup artists and photographers will give brides a second chance at the moments they missed. Wedding venue 1890 in Platte City donated its space for the event. Others are pitching in flowers and food.
Some of these girls were rallied around by their bridal parties. Hair and makeup was done by friends and family and not by a professional. So this is really giving them the opportunity to have that pampering moment and to really have those fine touch and refined images that they were really hoping to have on their wedding days.
This is the Facebook event for the Do-Over Project. It's scheduled for November 17th at 9 a.m. Any bride who booked DeVol and feels like they missed out can attend. I'm investigator Kat Reed, 41 Action News.
The makeup artist at the center of this controversy says she's dealing with family issues and depression. Annie DeVol said she's doing her best to make things right and will be refunding brides in the order of their contracts. United Airlines is making a change that should allow more carry-on bags. It says it's adding bigger overhead bin space on most planes. There should be enough for 1 bag per passenger on flights in the U.S. The process will start next year and should impact 80% of the planes within the next few years. Whether you're ready or not, Christmas movies are hitting the airwaves this weekend. I'm a fan of them. I think that's a good thing. Hallmark Channel plans to debut its premiere movies today. It's a big countdown to Christmas. Yesterday, the company also launched its holiday product line. It's everything from blankets to bingo and everything for the movies.
Wow, that's amazing. So you'll notice on our holiday countdown that we are 60 days away from Christmas today, but even sooner, Halloween, 5 days away. It's going to get really cold next week, and we have 2 rounds of wintry weather to watch. We'll discuss that in more detail. Our 7-day forecast is coming up.
Oh, good morning, everybody. Our Hy-Vee big game matchup last night was a fantastic game. Boy, this one went down to the wire. Pepto, Rolaids, Tums, if you got it, you'll need it for this one. Lawrence played host to Lawrence Free State. First quarter, Devin Neal, watch this, right back up the middle for the touchdown. Lions get on the board. The Firebirds retaliated like you knew they would. Malik Berry scores from a yard out to tie this thing up. Lawrence went right back to work. Neal scores his second touchdown of the day. Then Lions quarterback Jackson Dooley finds Trey Jackson on the touchdown. But Lawrence Free State comes all the way back and wins this one 31-30. It's a battle of the undefeateds. Lincoln Prep traveled to Summit Christian. Blue Tigers getting on the board first. Idriel Gentry on the 4-yard touchdown run. Then it's Howard Brown, all 280 pounds of him. He can throw the ball as well. Taking matters into his own hands on the ground, though, for the score. Howard telling the Summit Christian faithful to be quiet, but the Eagles would do no such thing. Grayson Sprouse finding Isaiah Kahimba across the middle for the touchdown, breaking several tackles on the score. But Lincoln Prep wins this one, 35-21. They move to 9-0. Good for them. Undefeated Tonganoxie hosting Ottawa first quarter. Hy-Vee Athlete of the Week, Cooper Cunningham, stiff arm and some fantastic powerful running. Cunningham would finish the drive with another powerful run and a Tonganoxie touchdown. They were just getting started. They would go for 2. Blake Poge finds Connor Searcy on the 2-point conversion. Tonganoxie goes to 8-0. They win 62-7. Another undefeated team, Raytown hosting undefeated North Kansas City. First quarter, the Hornets cutting into Raytown's lead. Jeremy Brown finding a hole, takes it all the way to the 1. Brown will score on the very next play. Hornets down 14-7. Third quarter now, Raytown's Joe Campbell finds Devontae Key on a perfect 40-yard touchdown strike. Raytown wins big, 48-7. Kearney, the Bulldogs, visiting Smithville, but the Warriors own this game. Middle of the third, here's Spencer Miller finding the end zone, making it 27-0. Smithville, his brother Isaac Miller got it on the action. One play after his long run, the senior breaks the tackle and gets the touchdown. That was his third score of the day. Smithville wins it 34-0. So now that the regular season has ended, all of the playoff teams now, the playoffs will start. We've got the districts on the Missouri side, Sub-State on Kansas side, and I cannot wait on our road to the championship. It begins next week. That is your look at sports. Have a beautiful morning.
We'll also be keeping our eyes on several games at the college level today. K-State hosts Oklahoma this morning. That'll be a good game. Kansas hosts Texas Tech tonight. Missouri is at Kentucky tonight, hoping for a road win. Central Missouri hosts Pitt State this afternoon. And there's college baseball in Kansas City today. Vanderbilt plays Oklahoma State at the Urban Youth Academy at noon.
Weather's looking great all around the area, especially for the K-State and KU football games. In the Kansas side, it might even warm up pretty nicely, approaching 60 degrees. But as we look live this morning to get you out the door through our KB Complete Skyview network, we are noticing some clearing skies out there. Clouds are off to our east, so a lot more blue sky in place. Here's another shot at the Security Bank of Kansas City, noticing some clouds in the distance, but it will lead to a more sunny day by the afternoon. We're at 33 degrees at KCI right now. Wind chill at 29. It is really chilly without a jacket with a northeast breeze at 5 miles per hour. Downtown Kansas City, we're at 37, 36 degrees Liberty, 34 Lee Summit and Gladstone. KCK, you're currently running at 32 degrees. Now the wider view on our map shows a lot of us rather chilly, lower middle 30s with some 40s out there to our south and east. Sedalia, Clinton, and Pleasanton all around 41 to 43. That's where the cloud cover seems to linger this morning, south and east of the metro. A little more overcast sky with some rain showers nearby. It looks like they've fallen apart, they've weakened as they travel to the north and west, and areas east of Kansas City.